is back. Sam Ant. Oh God. What's up with you? Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Hip hop uncensored is the vibe, so subscribe. Oh God, driving Sam Ant riding passenger side, and you heard it out the mouth of the greatest rapper alive.
Interested in promoting your brand, business, or talent on Hip Hop News Uncensored? Hit me up right now at advertise@hiphopun.com. That's advertise@hiphopun.com. Hit me ASAP. Very affordable rates. Now to our regularly scheduled program.
Their mindset relative to equality. They don't want the gangs to get their minds set towards black knowledge, black education, black entrepreneurship. Understand?
Sure.
And at the same time, gangs have a tendency to say, man, they think like I do. Man, I was born dead. So if I got to get busy and die for real today, then that's what it's going to be. They don't have no reservations if a civil war starts as to whether they ready to step up to the front line and give their life for what. So they just don't want them to get no knowledge as to why. So they don't mention them no more.
I wanted to ask you about Colin Kaepernick. How'd you feel about his demonstration and taking a knee, for police brutality and black men getting killed in the street? What did you think when you seen that? What's your thoughts on that?
I thought that was an excellent move on his part to do that. I thought it was such a great move until I had to go and sit down with him in New York. I'm a New Yorker, so for me to find out he was in New York, I went and sat down with him and told him that he was my hero. Wow. And I remember his fiance at the time was telling about how everybody walked away from him. A lot of people stepped away from him. And I told her, I said, listen, baby girl, let me just say this. To be an activist is a lonely man's job. I said, because everyone's going to run from you until they understand that you're the true activist and you have the depth and the strength and you will be here when the dust settles. Then they all going to knock you down trying to get in the picture with you. Okay. But I told him at the same time, I said, Cap, here's one thing you got to remember, man, because the woman was saying how everybody walked away. I said, man, you got to remember this. Don't never turn the volume down. Turn the volume up. I said, because if you turn the volume down, someone's going to step up in your place, man, and they're going to take the train, maybe not where you want it to go. So what Mr. Kaepernick did, he let the volume go down. I think they slid a contract up on them, Nike and others, had him sign the contract. And then after he signed the contract, they said to him, did you read the small print? No, what did the small print say? Here, let me read it to you. I will never make a public statement about police brutality.
Wow,
I will never stand up and be defiant again about what they're doing to black people in sports. Okay? So if you sit back, you say, well, in that sense, how come I don't hear? How many people died since he took that knee?
Yeah, more than we can count.
That's what I'm saying. And don't get it twisted, man. I like the dude and I respect him, but at the same time, I look at him and say he's young.
Yeah.
Okay? He's young, man, and he didn't grow up in the neighborhoods that we grew up in. I think he was in a very nice conservative neighborhood. We had to come through the jungle. Okay? So, I would just hope that by him taking a step back from that, what he does do is put a full court press on trying to educate young kids in terms of what their legal rights are in the court system, what their legal rights are in life, and pursue that and push that as hard as far as he can go with it. If you stop one thing because they use trickery to get you to do something, then okay, well, I can't do it that way, but I can do it another way. And I would hope that he would push to do it and make sure that he gets his message across and don't let nobody stymie him, stop him from what his original cause was.
Right.
Absolutely.
Did you happen to see? I'm going to get your thoughts added on to the back of that. When Jay-Z came out and said that we're past kneeling, did you hear that statement? And what was your thoughts about that statement?
Well, you have to find out what was Jay-Z's thought when he made the statement. Mm-hmm. Jay-Z is a businessman. And Jay-Z went in to say, man, I'm doing business with the NFL. Okay. I can't knock Jay-Z for doing some business with the NFL. I think, when he did get in with the NFL in terms of representation, them halftime shows and shit, I think he put us out there on Front Street. Okay. Relative to us taking a knee and saying we beyond knees, we can't say we beyond knees, man, until we have equality. You understand? We can't say we beyond putting a fist to the sky until we have equality, until we have economic balance, until we have purity in education, until we have a level playing field. We have to continue to kneel. We have to continue to raise our fists. We have to continue to raise our voice. We have to continue to push the pebble down the road. Absolutely. And that's just not for Kaepernick. It's not for John Carlos. It's for every Black man, woman, or child, and any other race that's sympathetic to their cause to step up and say, man, I stand for truth. I stand for justice. I stand for equality. I stand for moral value. Okay? That's what Peter Norman did. Mm-hmm. If you sit back and you think, when you say to yourself, say, well, let me show you about how they do people like Peter Norman. Frederick Douglass had a guy that used to roll with him, man, by the name of John Brown. Mm-hmm. It's like you say you ain't heard of Nat Turner.
Oh, they made
about John Brown.
We knew about John Brown.
Blonde haired, blue eyed white boy. Mm-hmm. Okay. But because he stood as an abolitionist and he rode through with Frederick Douglass, they whitewashed him out of history. They don't want white people to think that you could have moral character. They don't want white people to think you could stand for what's right, so they whitewashed him. Then you sit back and you say, okay, then 1968, we made the demonstration. Peter Norman stepped up to the plate. Blonde hair, blue eyes, moral character, wisdom, strength. They whitewashed him here in America. They whitewashed him around the world. If you think about it, they cut him off the picture. Even Black people cut him off the picture.
Yep.
You understand? Because they didn't understand the essence of what he was or what he stood for. White people understood why they was cutting him out the picture, why they whitewashed him out. But then now you sit back and you say, well, Mr. Kaepernick, when he took a knee, there's other NFL Black players took a knee, and there was one white guy in particular, Howie Long's son.
Yeah.
He stood up and he put his hand on my man's shoulder and said, man, I stand with you. I don't give a shit what nobody say. I stand with you. They whitewash him out the same way. Why are they doing this? They're doing this because they don't want white people to think that you can't have morals. They don't want white people to think that you can't have values. They don't want white people to think that you can be concerned about where's this world headed. Right? So, I mean, we got to applaud those individuals that stepped up to the plate, as well as we applaud those individuals that's been in the fight for all this time. And at the same time, we need to look at other people and say, man, why are you trying to make excuses for these people when you know that they're wrong?